On my arrival at Auschwitz I, the camp made a surprising impression on me, that of an extremely clean, collective housing complex. The Stammlager comprised 28 tile-roofed blocks, arranged in 3 rows separated by lined, broken stone streets. The whole, covering a rectangle roughly 800 by 400 meters, was surrounded by a concrete wall, itself lined inside and out by barbed wire fences charged with high-tension electricity. Inserted in this wall at intervals, there were imposing watchtowers, on which SS armed with machine guns stood guard. Each block comprised a raised basement, a ground floor, a first floor, and a loft. On the ground floor of each block were small dormitories reserved for favored prisoners, toilets, and spacious, well-equipped washrooms with a large number of taps. On the first floor of the blocks were spacious dormitories that could take up to 1,000 prisoners. The beds were of the kind found in German military barracks, composed of a wooden frame with 3 bunk beds. Each of these beds had a mattress, 2 blankets, and, in some privileged commandos, they had 1 or even 2 sheets. During usual periods, every prisoner thus had an individual bed, which in a concentration camp is a special favor. The cleanliness of this bed, and making it when we got up, was a big worry in our lives as prisoners. A badly made bed spotted in the daily inspection of the dormitories by the SS Blockführer or by the prisoner in charge of the block could lead to the cruelest physical punishment or relegation to a bad commando with its often fatal outcome. In addition to the actual housing blocks, a certain number of buildings were fitted with special installations. Block 24 had on the ground floor a rehearsal room for the orchestra, and on the first floor the individual bedrooms for the prostitutes. Block 25 contained a canteen and, ironically, on the same landing, the Politische Abteilung, the political section. Block 11 was the camp prison, which could hold over 1,000 prisoners. Between blocks 10 and 11, there was a small, strictly closed courtyard, whose black wall was used for executions. Block 10 was used for some time as an isolation block for women on whom experimental research was performed. Later, still isolated, it held a good 1,000 Hungarian gypsies. After these had been massively exterminated, it was transformed into a quarantine block. Finally, particular mention must be made of the vast constructions filled up to the ceilings with countless objects taken on arrival from the millions of prisoners who had ended at Auschwitz since 1941. These heaps were known as Canada in the camp slang.